workout, isn't it?
Right? Like, I mean, why not? When I hear music, I can't help myself.
I love that. So what people who are listening or joining live don't know, and if you've ever used StreamYard, what happens is the music plays and you guys will see the countdown or hear the music, but myself and my guests can see each other in the tiny little boxes, and Loren and I were really boogieing on down.
Get down, get down. Sure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give a drum roll my very esteemed guest this week on Sarah's LinkedIn Live Lounge. This week, I would like to introduce to you the wonderful, and I am going to pronounce your name right, Loren Greiff. Welcome, Loren. I might do just a little playing.
See, I'm like a trained seal. Like, you put that music on and I just like go.
I love that. So, Loren Greiff,
yes,
welcome to the LinkedIn Live Lounge. Welcome to my purple sofa, and thank you for embracing the purple sofa and having the virtual background, because which is actually the right color. I was just saying to you earlier, wasn't I, that my color, which is the real one, is really paled out on my camera. But anyway, hey ho, here we are. Loren, founder and CEO of Portfolio Rocket.
Yes.
Welcome to the purple sofa. Loren, we met on LinkedIn.
We did.
And I would love you to share the story, because for me, this is what LinkedIn is about. LinkedIn is about building relationships. It's about meeting amazing people and joining conversations, having conversations with people, and getting to know people from all over the world in all different spheres and sectors, etc., etc. And you approached me on LinkedIn, I think. I don't really know how it started. Can you remember?
Well, what you said about LinkedIn is one of the reasons why I'm not just passionate about it, but get a little like overly sometimes invested with my clients about how great it is. I'm a zealot, right? I'm a LinkedIn zealot. And the reason for that is because let's just be honest, are you going to be able to have access to over 1 billion people at your fingertips, no matter what, no matter when? You know, this is crazy. You can reach, and I know that many of your colleagues who are more on the dedicated LinkedIn side say it's all 6 degrees of separation. You are connected to not that many layers away from the people that you want to meet and know. So there's a difference. You could be connected. Who cares, right? I always say these are connections, not collections, right? You're not like there to just accumulate people. That's what I also believe is usury behavior. I'm not interested in having followers if I don't know who the followers are. And if I don't have relationships with the people behind the profiles. And that's one of the things. How I got to you is really because there is an energy that, even though it's a virtual surface, let's face it, I could feel your energy. I could feel that vibrancy and the radiation of goodness. And I think that is, again, such a testament to how much opportunity there is to drive something that's so intangible. And you can sense that. The last reason why is because I started my business, who knew, 2 weeks before the pandemic hit. And so we were all a little stir crazy at this point and craving connection. So it was a perfect storm. And you, I mean, how could you miss Sarah Clay?
Oh, amazing. But putting your personality into LinkedIn. So I've run 3 workshops this week. And the same question always comes up, how personal should we be? How much can we show our personalities? And these questions came from students, they came from CEOs and C-suite, they came from entrepreneurs. It's the same people ask that question. I am an AI, I am an AI tool, and I can tell you the questions that people are asking, and that is one of them. Can we be real on LinkedIn? Isn't it just about being businesslike? And you've just answered that question, because it isn't, is it? You've got to be yourself.
I think that, and everyone seems to have their own ideal ratio between how much professionalism and how much privacy or vulnerability should I share on LinkedIn. I have a really easy way to skin this, and it doesn't necessarily work for everyone. So it's really up to you to decide what your mix is going to be. In my world, I am completely transparent. I don't care. I don't care that people know that I'm divorced, or that I'm an alcoholic, or things that are, in some cases, very personal, or choose not to put that out there. The reason why I do it isn't really about me. It's more of a sense of, please know that I have no judgment. And also, please know that whoever you are, you're welcome. I'm not like we all have stuff, and that is in concert with the real business reasons why they're there. So both things are true. I don't think that one overrides the other, and I certainly don't think that they can't coexist. So I think that there needs to be a recipe or understanding between you and you, like, what are you okay with? Because whatever LinkedIn's algorithm is, great content is great content. Great content is great content. And I really strive to deliver great content. Sometimes it is personal. Sometimes I mix the two, and sometimes, it's just all business all the time.
Amazing. Yeah. And I think you're absolutely right that everybody needs to work out how much of the personal stuff they want to share, and how they can incorporate it maybe into their messaging. And, today you posted about doing an 8-minute plank, which is really quite phenomenal. I've got some serious work to do before I see you again, because I can only get to 2. But you brought the business message into that story, and people love a story. And I think it's about bringing your story to life, and bringing your story as part of your business. And I always say to people, and I recently changed my headline, actually, and it says, treat LinkedIn as you treat real life. Talk to people on LinkedIn in the same way that you talk to people in real life. And, it's no more complicated than that, really.
No, I think that the barrier, or the perceived barrier, is, I've never been on social media. I don't like social media. I don't know if I want to go on social media. Well, first of all, it is social media. Okay. I'm not pretending, don't think of it as social media. It is social media. So let's just call it that. You can define it however you want. And if you are only looking at it as the label of social media, you will miss the point.
Yeah.
Because each social media animal and platform works very, very differently. The vibe on LinkedIn, and you know this better than anyone, is very different than it is on Instagram. The audience is different. They behave differently. And the audience on LinkedIn, from my dedicated, I've been on the platform for over 20 years, first as a recruiter, and now as a founder and CEO. So from a different perspective, has never been anything but welcoming and inclusive. So it's not like you have to show up here and put on airs that you're new, or that this is your first post, or that you don't know how to comment, or that, you know, you're working on your profile. Great. Let us help you. Let us love on you so that you have more encouragement to continue to come back.
That's such a brilliant way to look at it, because it's those people who are new to LinkedIn that get really nervous and don't know what to say. And I work with a lot of those people in my my group programs, and they say, well, we don't know what to say in our first post. And I say, introduce yourself, go and introduce yourself, say who you are and what you do. I said, and if you like, you can say, I'm working with Sarah Clay and she's told me to do this, and just make it personal. And they love that, because that gives them kind of permission, if you like, to post. Because that first post can be scary, there's no question about it. But anyway.
Yeah, and get your feet wet in the comments.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Get your feet wet there. It's so much fun. It's like having, for some reason, I get funnier in the comments than I ever do in my content. It's like I'm like riffing here and joking here and all that kind of stuff. It's fun.
And actually, I get a lot of my post ideas when I'm commenting on somebody else's post, because your brain works in a quite slightly different way, I think, when you're reacting to somebody else. So, when I'm reacting to somebody else's post, I'm writing a comment, I'm thinking, that's quite good. I'm going to redo that as my own. Now, Loren, my lovely, you work with CEOs, executives, C-suites, helping them get jobs on the hidden job market. Very exciting. Tell us more about that and how it works.
I sure will. So I want to put context around this, because a lot of people think that the hidden job market is a bunch of BS. So that's fine. And I'm not here to change your mind. That's good. However, for those of you who are finding that the applicant tracking system and executive recruiters are not necessarily responding in the speed and manner in which you are looking for, there's a reason for it. And the hidden job market is the currency of where the highest quality of candidates are found. And that's primarily through referrals. And I want to caveat that too, enthusiastic referrals and networking. So all of my clients are practiced and developing a level of mastery around how to build those relationships so they move from online to offline. So that's the ideal spectrum. You meet them here, they move to the DMs, and then before you know it, you're having coffee, you're chit-chatting about this and that, you're reconnecting in a couple of weeks, you're doing this, you're doing that, they're introducing you to your people, their people, et cetera, et cetera. So this is in some ways the oldest trick in the book, right? This is people, knowing people, loving on people, hiring people that they know, like, and trust, and building that concurrent and also compound interest of trust in the process of networking.
And that is so valuable. It's so valuable for many, many reasons. And to me, if somebody, I don't know the last time I did a CV or went for a job interview, even when I was in the job market, even when I was employed, because it didn't work like that, because it is about that. It's about referrals. It's about who you know. And the last job I had before I set up my own business, they found me through somebody. Of course.
I just want to call out Lisa Berg. Do you see? Hey, Lisa.
Ah, hello, Lisa. How are you? Here's Lisa.
Yes. Go, Lisa. Go, Lisa. I'm a senior HR professional and job coach, and there's definitely a hidden job market. So you can believe her if you don't believe me. Networking is the most important to find a job.
Absolutely. And she's right, because that's how we hear about the jobs. And I remember I went for the interview and I said, I've never done this job before. And they said, no, but you have skills that we know that you have certain skills because you've done this, you've done that, you've done the other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What I think is also what I really want to emphasize here, because the outcome of what our clients learn at Portfolio Rocket is a job, right? Like we know that.
Yeah.
But they also are learning how to build pipelines so that they are not in this situation again. So there's both a short-term win, and then there's, okay, so how do I do this when I'm in my job? How do I do this so that I'm not vulnerable for the next? And also, how do I use that currency of human capital or networking as a way to influence compensation? Because if you're coming with this network, what that says, so-and-so and so-and-so knows how to get something done from so-and-so and so-and-so. And that can also be very powerful in terms of who you are collaborating with, who you are going to hire in your next opportunity, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot more under the surface than just, oh, we're networking, right? There's really a lot of depth to this and tentacles that can spider out in a lot of different directions to really drive a lot of exciting activity.
So it's future-proofing your whole career. So in fact, it's interesting because one of the students yesterday at UAL in London said, when we've got our job from this networking that we're doing, because that's exactly what I was teaching them to do. I said, look, if there's a company or companies that you want to work for, go and start talking to them now. You're still in university. Start talking to them now. Start talking to the intern. Then they'll gradually move up, get them to refer you up to the next person, And before you know it, you're having a chit chat with the CEO of the company, your dream company, before you've even finished uni. And one of the girls said, so when we get this job, do we stop doing this? And I was like, no.
No, do you stop brushing your teeth?
Yeah. Hey, I did say, do you stop going to the gym? And she looked at me as if I was mad. So she obviously doesn't go, but you're right. You don't stop brushing your teeth. You've got to keep this going. This is your life.
Well, I want to just say, you really don't have to. Don't you want to? Don't you freaking want to? Yeah. And in that process, go there with a spirit of curiosity and excitement. You're going to meet somebody new today. You're going to actually learn something from somebody else. And guess what? 90% of the time, at least this is what my clients are, they're like, wow, that was great. I'm so glad I went to this, or I had that call with this. I have people, all of my clients and many, many more, like, wow, that was a great networking call. Why was it great? Because you were prepared, because you asked great questions and you got them talking. So it wasn't like a herky-jerky back and forth kind of thing. It was like, oh, we're vibing. We're having a good time. And that's...
Sorry, but they've both done their research before, so they knew they were a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not wasting time talking to people who, there's no way that there's any synergy or any way that they could help each other. But on LinkedIn, you can do your due diligence beforehand, say this person is a good fit.
There's so much available between LinkedIn and all the other access that we have on, if they're a bigwig, chances are they've been on a podcast or two. Or there's an article or something, and I use this phrase a lot. These are my air quotes that are actually cut off here. Wait, let's see. Show me you know me. Show me you know me. Don't come at it and sit there and hey, do me like I need a job. That's not gonna accelerate the conversation, and that's not gonna engage people. I love Michelle. I just want to say good on you. Honesty. Some days I love it, and other days it's meh.
I was just going to read this out actually. So thank you, Michelle. Michelle Daly. Let me pronounce your name right. Traldelore. I hope I've said it right. Self-employed entrepreneur seeking your next dream. I have to leverage my collab and networking skills very differently on LinkedIn, which is fair enough. Some days I love it and some days it's meh, but I love learning about others. Do you know, Michelle, you are speaking the voice of everybody, I think. And in fact, I had a meeting earlier today and I said, I haven't actually been on LinkedIn today because I just couldn't bear to go on. You're not alone, Michelle. Some days we just don't want to show up. We just don't want to be there. And some days we have that feeling and we go on and we might just happen chance meet somebody that just turns the day around and makes us think, oh, actually, I quite like it here. It's quite nice.
Completely. Go make someone else's day if you feel like crap. That's how I always approach it. If you feel like crap or having a crappy day, go make somebody else's day and it'll make you feel better. It really will. I don't mean to like be dumbing down the realities of, we're human. Not every day feels like winning, and it's okay, because just having and knowing that whatever you're doing, going through, somebody else is probably experiencing a very similar thing as we were talking about before we even got on this call.
Yeah, it's true. And I think honesty, okay, there's sharing and there's oversharing. Although it's all personal, it's all up to everybody's personal perception of what is sharing and what's oversharing. But LinkedIn is this magical platform where you can talk your realities and explain what's going on in your real life. And because there's so many people there, people get it, and if you've built that tribe, which is what we're talking about, isn't it? It's building this tribe, this network of people who are going to support us and help us on our journey. There's always somebody there who's got time to talk to you and listen.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah. So I can't believe how quickly these go. So I think on my 7th guest, Loren, and I'm always amazed when we get to sort of almost to the end, and I'm like, what happened? Where did everybody go?
My little fingers went away.
But if anybody has any questions for Loren about the hidden job market on LinkedIn or elsewhere, pop them in the chat and let's answer those, because we've got a few more minutes. But Loren, what would you say? Okay, I'm going to press you for 3 actionable tips that you can give your CEOs to help them make better use of LinkedIn and communication in general to get that dream job.
So this is not what I'm about to share with you is a real tip. And I also want to say, just because you've heard it before, I want you to torture test it, because there's a lot of value in repetition. And just because you've heard it doesn't mean it's necessarily working for you. I want you to look at your profile. And better yet, I want somebody else who doesn't know you at all to look at your profile. And I want you to time them for 6 seconds. 6 seconds. That's the maximum amount of time that anybody will come and pay attention to your profile. That's probably even generous. So what you want to be able to ensure is that when they walk away, they know exactly who you are, what you do, and why you do it. So do not just dumb it down with your title, because guess what? Your title is a cost of entry. It's a generic. How many other people have your title? That's not a differentiator. That's a fact, but it's not a differentiator, and it will not get you hired by putting that there. So they need to understand part of why you do what you do. I'll give you an example just because it's near and dear to me, which is myself. And I've done the research, and this is sad but true. There are 23 million coaches on LinkedIn. I did not count them all. I did the search. So 23 million coaches. Now, these could be executive coaches. They could be interview coaches. They could be performance coaches. Anybody with a coach, piece of their identity or their professional identity is included in that 23 million. It's a very dense amount. So if I just say executive coach, it's like, oh, thank you. Another coach. Great. Good for you. I'm an executive coach. Okay, so what? Who cares?
Yeah.
What my reason for being is I'm on a mission, and I mean a mission, to end career victimization, elevating, accelerating, and celebrating one executive at a time by accessing the hidden job market. Now, I will tell you that did not happen overnight. Okay, so this is the hardest part of this. So first and foremost is make sure that thing, and that thing is your profile, is singing, and singing a tune that people will remember fast. The second thing with respect to the hidden job market is you must be where your audience for your future job is having conversations. If you are in marketing, now another huge umbrella, I'm in marketing. Okay, who isn't? Digital marketing, AI, hybrid marketing. Are you somebody who is in direct response? Are you somebody who is performance marketing? You must be specific, and then go find more of those birds of a feather and get talking about the topics that they are talking about, right? Really, really, really get in those conversations, because that's like saying, like, you're having a conversation. You're just like collaborating already. And then the last thing is really, and I'm going to just throw this out there because it's important. Wrap your head around the fact that you got to change your mindset. If you are looking for a job and you are looking for a leadership role, good luck.
Sorry.
I just got cut off. You cannot be meeting expectations. Everybody's meeting expectations. So when you are at that level, you're playing in the A leagues, right? And the competition is fierce. So you must manage your expectations about how long it's going to take. And if you want it to go faster, here's my formula. Success doesn't take long, it takes courage. So you're going to have to jump outside of your comfort zone and make some kind of bold and courageous moves, even if it means an 8-minute plank. Because otherwise you'll just be like another thing, another person who wants a job, and nobody at that level is just getting hired because they have nothing else better to do. They're outstanding, they're remarkable, and they're remarkably different. So I say often, different is better than better.
Yeah.
So don't pretend that competing on another degree or another accolade or another thing is going to make you better, because eventually you're already playing in the top league. Everybody has something that is better. Everybody's got a PhD. Everybody's done a TED Talk. Everybody's run a marathon. Everybody, can speak 5 languages.
But those are facts.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter if somebody can speak 5 languages. And actually, I need you to speak 1. And this is so brilliant, Loren, what you're saying, all of this, and about not using your job title. And I see managing director. Well, so what? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything to me at all. So right. Talking about
that's very old thinking. That's old thinking. That's like what I refer to as landline thinking. Oh, excuse me. I need a prop because it's too good. It's too good. Excuse me for a minute.
She's going. She's off. But she's absolutely right. And I see so many LinkedIn profiles where people use their titles, but it doesn't say anything about them at all. It's orange, of course. Loren, I love that.
It makes a point, right? This is
landline thinking.
Landline thinking. So why I use this phone is because we all know what a landline is. Yet none of us use it, but it works, right?
Yeah.
Not this one. But you know what I'm saying. If you had a landline, it would work. It's just completely outdated, and it doesn't fit the way we conduct our lives.
Yeah, and the way we move around. No. So yeah.
Those are my three.
So don't put your job title in your headline. I love that.
Part of that for keywords. It does need to be part of that, but that's cost of entry. So I should have said that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You do need the keywords in there. But I love that idea of getting somebody to read your profile for 6 seconds and see what they find out about you. That's so clever. That's amazing. What was the second one? Now, hang on, my brain's just disappeared because you distracted me with your orange landline now. I love the be courageous as well, because we do have to get out of our comfort zones, because otherwise we'll just stay on our purple sofas forever.
Well, a dear friend of mine, who I also met on LinkedIn, Jen Lafine. If you don't know Jen, she's amazing.
I will meet her on LinkedIn.
She talks about the comfort cave, you know, that comfort cave of hanging out in there, and people don't really care that it's uncomfortable for you. All they care about is that you're there. We create all those stories. What are they going to say? What are they going to think? They're going to be fine. They're going to be excited that you showed up. They're going to be like happy that you noticed them. Oh, like sometimes my clients will say, well, wouldn't that be like a stalker? Wouldn't like sending a birthday message to somebody I haven't talked to for 10 years be like a stalker? I'm like, oh my goodness. How would you feel if somebody remembered your birthday from 10 years ago? I would be delighted. So that being said, I understand it's different in different cultures, but you guys are smart. Discern and don't overthink it, because that's just another level of analysis paralysis that will keep you in the cave.
Exactly. Think about LinkedIn as if it's real life.
Real life. Mm-hmm.
And I love what Michelle's written here. She's going to fa-la-la her way to her future dream job.
Oh, la, 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 la.
Way lovely. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. We have come to the end, but I am going to read out one last comment from Lisa Berg. LinkedIn groups are crucial to the job seekers, to job seekers networking and learning the language of their targeted companies. Yes, that was what you said. Speak the language of the companies that you want to get into, and using LinkedIn groups. Thank you, Lisa Berg, for that, because that's a really
Lisa Berg for that.
Fabulous. Right, we are coming to the end. Loren Greiff, my darling.
Yeah,
you have got a free ebook.
I do.
Called Unlock. I've got it written down. You see, I've got notes. I've grown up now. I've got notes and everything. Unlock the Hidden Job Market. How do we find that free ebook?
So I put the link in our email,
but I haven't
put that in our, because hold on, I can. Oops, I got it here. I do have it here.
I'm going to pop it in the chat. But presumably, and also you have a podcast called Career Blast in a Half. Fantastic name. And Loren's favored emoji is the rocket. Pushes portfolio.
Yes. Definitely come and check out my podcast. If you thought I was irreverent here, guess what? There's more. And one of my friends said, "Ooh, I like that it has a little E next to it, which means explicit, because we swear." No, it's really unfiltered in a good way. And again, it's back to the mission, right? It's all people tell me it's the conversations that they wish that they knew that they were having. And I would love also to share that ebook with all of you, because it really is a play-by-play and fun, because it's got to be fun. Otherwise, people don't want to do anything with their job search. So I used to say I remove the root canal from the process, and that's true. But there's other things that I've discovered at this point that are really more crucial to put as part of my mission.
Amazing. And you are on a mission, and you are succeeding on your mission to get those people those jobs, Loren Greiff. And I love your content on LinkedIn. If you're not following or connected to Loren Greiff on LinkedIn, please do find her. If you're listening to this podcast, when you finish listening to this one in a second, you can go straight over to Career Blast in a Half podcast, which is Loren's, and hear more from Loren, because she's got so much more to say, because she's awesome. Loren Greiff, thank you for being on my purple sofa.
Thank you, Sarah Clay. And
We're
I'm
going to play out
some of those hugs that we had when I came and saw you IRL.
Indeed, we'll do that again one day.
Yes.
I'm going to play us out with my Hey Hey music, and same time next week, Thursday at 3.